There is a GM in the Eastern Conference that believes that the New York Knicks would be interested, if this player were to become available, that they would be interested in trading for Karl Anthony Towns. Now, in my opinion, now correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think this makes much sense. Personally, I don't. Now, when talking about Karl Anthony Towns last year with the Timberwolves in 62 games, 21.8 points per game, 8.3 rebounds, 3 assists per game. Now, what would it take to bring Anthony Towns to the New York Knicks? It might take you Julius Randle, right? One large contract for another. You could maybe throw Bogdanovich in there too, another large contract at $20 million. Maybe throw in a young player like McBride. Maybe throw in some draft picks. But Anthony Towns, to me, isn't worth it. In fact, as far as production goes, technically speaking, Julius Randle, even though he played in less games than Anthony Towns last year, was more productive than Anthony Towns. 24 points per game, 9 rebounds. He was more productive than Anthony Towns, 5 assists. Now, Anthony Towns, is he the better shooter? Sure. But Julius Randle, according to the numbers, was a more productive player. So I don't know if that would be worth it if the Knicks were to have to part, which they would most likely have to part with Julius Randle in an Anthony Towns trade because of the salaries and even production standpoint. I don't think the Knicks are getting the better player back in Anthony Towns. So Anthony Towns, is he familiar with Thibodeau? Yeah, he is. But at the same time, I don't know if this makes much sense. I don't. But maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. If anything, if the Knicks were to trade away such a package, were to throw Randle in a package, were to throw draft picks in a package, Bogdanovich, a young player, I think what would end up happening, it would be for a more prolific player, right? It wouldn't be for an Anthony Towns. It would be maybe for, and I'm not saying this will happen. There were some chirping last year, though. Maybe for an Embiid or a Donovan Mitchell or a Devin Booker. Not Anthony Towns, though. I just have a hard time believing that. But listen, like I said, maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way, but if I'm the Knicks, I'm not going to acquire Karl Anthony Towns, having to trade away the assets that I would have to trade away and getting a guy that's not as productive as a Julius Randle. Did he play in more games? Anthony Towns? Yeah. Cat played in more games. He did. No denying that. But at the same time, for me personally, I don't think it makes sense. I would rather use those assets that I named and trade for an even better player if we can get that. Even a Durant, if Durant becomes available, but he is a little older too. So that's the thing here. But I just don't think Anthony Towns is the guy. I don't think he's the guy. But you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Joe, and until next time, signing out.